Today we go over exciting new details when it comes to the Obi Wan Kenobi Star Wars movie. This is Mike Zero here. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, today is a very special day, as today we actually learned of not only the plot summary of Kenobi, a Star Wars story, but also some details, all thanks to TMZ, the same exact website that actually got a lot of details well before the Han Solo film was even finished. We actually got a nice behind-the-scenes look back then of that movie, and now we're getting these early details of the Kenobi movie, which we have been hearing more and more about this past week or so. So, looking at TMZ, which by the way, the full article will be found below in the description, go ahead and check them out. So this is what they had to say. The next movie in the Star Wars story franchise will feature Obi Wan Kenobi, but it ain't an origin story. Far from it, actually. According to a newly released production bulletin obtained by TMZ, Disney's next foray into their spin series appears to be called Obi Wan: A Star Wars Story, with the working title of Joshua Tree. Return of the Jedi also used the code name Blue Harvest. It goes on to say about the plot summary, the synopsis if you will. This is by TMZ as well. I'll read it to you guys right here. It states, the synopsis reads as follows. Obi-Wan is on Tatooine being an elusive hermit and stuff, but secretly watches over an infant Luke Skywalker, whom he delivered to his uncle Owen. Tensions between the local farmers and a tribe of Sand people, headed by a ruthless war chief, eventually brings Obi out of hiding, and into Jedi kick-ass mode scene. The bulletin lists Stephen Daldry as the director. He'd been rumored to be in talks for the film, and now it looks like he's attached. The movie shooting in London at a well-known Star Wars studio, recently used for The Last Jedi production, is set to begin next spring. So April of 2019, we have heard well before TMZ even report about this, so that does make sense about the whole shooting in spring thing. The fact that this movie is going to include not only a infant Luke Skywalker or a young Luke Skywalker, but what really drags Obi-Wan out of hiding is, of course, this war chief. So it seems like they're really trying to go down the route of Solo: A Star Wars Story by introducing brand new villains, which is all great and all, because apparently, according to TMZ, this is not an origin story, which we know, of course, because, you know, this isn't a young Obi-Wan. But looking at the title itself, apparently it's not going to be Kenobi: A Star Wars Story. Apparently it's going to be Obi-Wan: A Star Wars Story. Now, that could just very well be an early title. That could always change. But as of right now, it's called Obi-Wan: A Star Wars Story. What would you guys prefer as the title? Obi-Wan or Kenobi? Myself, I'll give you my honest opinion. I feel like Kenobi: A Star Wars Story just rolls better on the tongue. It's shorter. It just kind of goes. It's more recognizable. And it actually has a really cool look to it on, you know, like the big screen or on print. It just looks like a really cool logo that they could create for the Jedi Master. So looking at this Obi-Wan movie, guys, this is very exciting stuff, because in this plot summary, in this synopsis, once again, it goes over, Obi-Wan is on Tatooine being an elusive hermit and stuff, but secretly watches over an infant Luke Skywalker, whom he delivered to his uncle Owen. Tensions between the local farmers and a tribe of Sand people, headed by a ruthless war chief. So this war chief is going to be the new villain that we will actually be introduced to in this Obi-Wan movie. Now, Stephen Daldry is set to direct the film, and guys, I gotta say, with all of the new details that have been coming out for the Obi-Wan movie, do expect an official announcement sometime this summer. We all have heard months and months ago that Disney and Lucasfilm, that they plan on revealing their future projects this summer, one of which I bet is going to be Kenobi: A Star Wars Story, or in this case, Obi-Wan: A Star Wars Story. Honestly, to me, I think that Stephen Daldry is a great fit as a director. If you guys have checked out any of his work on IMDb and actually looked up his work, it's pretty impressive stuff. Now, I will say one thing. There are so many different plot elements that they could very well take advantage of in this Kenobi movie. Now, TMZ also went over that, as of right now, Ewan McGregor still has no idea if he's actually set for the project. Now, they do have the story already in mind. The story's all set. They have everything in order. I'm not quite sure about the script being complete and all, but it must be, you know, near its completion. They're just keeping it a big, big secret from what it seems. You know, because if they started writing this thing, it must have been, you know, a couple of months ago when they began, because we do know that they will be filming in April of 2019, less than a year from now. So the script should be done by this summer or maybe by this fall. But looking at Kenobi, I think that there's so many different things that you could use in this movie, such as putting nightmares into the mix. Maybe Obi-Wan's sitting by a campfire, he's sleeping, he hears Anakin Skywalker screaming as he's burning alive, right? Burning to death. And that's when he wakes up from that nightmare. And maybe they could even take advantage of Obi-Wan and his reaction when he first learns that his best friend, Anakin Skywalker, survived that duel of theirs on Mustafar, and he is now Darth Vader once again, except he's all suited up, and he is the, you know, the side by the Emperor, and he's the ruler of the Empire. I think that whole entire reaction through Obi-Wan is something that we all need and deserve to see on screen. The other thing that I would like to see is, of course, Yoda training Obi-Wan remotely, where we do eventually get a nice payoff at the very end of the movie, where we do in fact see a Qui-Gon Jinn Force Ghost portrayed by Liam Neeson. Again, guys, this movie could have great amount of fan service that actually makes sense, where, well, it's not necessarily fan service, it would really be a great part of the plot. Because we do know that at the very end of Revenge of the Sith, Yoda, it sort of sets up the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie right there. He's going to Tatooine, he's going into solitude, he's going to train him to commune with, of course, his master, Qui-Gon. The other thing that I would love to see as well is, of course, the tension between both Owen Lars and Obi-Wan Kenobi. We've seen this in the comics. We know that Owen has told Obi-Wan in the comics, haven't you killed enough Skywalkers already, Kenobi, and go away. He wants him away from Luke Skywalker. So he wants to train the boy, but at the same time, he doesn't want to, and Owen wants him to get out. Overall, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about this all. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Gun in hand, we are alone again. No, I'm not the one. From night to moon, we